Shedeur Sanders' worst-case scenario was way worse than anyone could have imagined. Not only did Sanders, who was under consideration to be the #1 overall player on the NFL draft board for some teams during the fall, slip out of the first round Thursday, he tumbled all the way out of the third round and now must wait to see if he is picked at all Saturday. "We're in good spirits, of course," Sanders told a social media audience after the third round ended. "God don't make mistakes. We have faith in God no matter what. Whatever it is." It will be forever remembered as one of the most shocking draft slides of all time, especially given that the Giants did more homework on Sanders than any team in this draft did on any prospect in the class. He had advocates in the building for taking him as high as number 3. There were 3 quarterbacks taken in the second and third rounds, upping the total over Sanders to 5. To make matters worse, Sanders was the apparent victim of a cruel prank call while streaming on Twitch from his draft party in Texas. "Good, been waiting on you," Sanders said over the phone before figuring out that it was not a real team calling. Giants general manager Joe Schoen, who traded up to number 25 and drafted quarterback Jackson Dart instead of Sanders in the first round, declined to comment Friday on Sanders' slide after selecting defensive tackle Darius Alexander with the number 65 pick. "I'm not going to get into that," Schoen said when asked if he thinks Sanders is better than what his fall suggests. "You know, this is Darius' press conference and the New York Giants, so we can talk about that if you want, but I don't want to talk about any other players." Sanders had Giants-colored cleats made for the Alamo Bowl and he played catch with Malik Neighbors in the streets of New York during the Heisman Trophy ceremony. He and his father, Hall of Famer and Colorado head coach Deion Sanders, were pushing the Giants as a preferred destination. The Giants did not meet with any of the top quarterback prospects at the NFL Combine, a source told The Post, but the Ringer's Todd McShay reported that Dable and Sanders had a pre-draft meeting that went poorly. Asked about it Friday, Dable said, "We had good meetings with all the guys who came in here on 30 visits. The quarterback meetings were productive, and we're happy with Jackson." The Giants aren't alone. The Browns, who are looking at an underwhelming quarterback competition between journeyman Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco, held 2 of the first 4 second-round picks and passed both times. They later circled back for Dylan Gabriel, projected as a late-round pick at number 94. The Raiders, who are partially owned and run by the great Tom Brady, one of Sanders' biggest mentors, traded out of number 37 and then passed at number 58 and number 68. The Steelers, who were thought to be Sanders' best first-round bet at number 21, passed for a second time at number 83, after having no second-rounder. Sanders was not a serious candidate for the Saints, who drafted 26-year-old quarterback Tyler Shaw at number 40. The Seahawks selected Jalen Milroe, who attended the draft in person, at number 92. Sanders' fall is as much about his off-field persona as his on-field weaknesses after reports that his brash nature in team interviews left a sour taste. ESPN analyst Mel Kiper Jr. had Sanders ranked as his #1 quarterback. "As a history lesson, I don't know what quarterback has been this type of personality and has been successful," one NFL offensive coach told The Post about Sanders. "I don't know what comparison there is. Everything matters on and off the field and I just don't know." But Colorado offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur, a former NFL head coach with the Giants and Browns and longtime offensive play caller, vouched for Sanders before the draft. "To the phrase everyone uses, 'he can make all the throws,'" Shurmur told The Post. "I thought he was very coachable. All players run that fine line between arrogant and confident, but my interactions with him were always great. He's a very confident young man, but what I saw with him, I didn't see him as being arrogant."